5 crazy expensive paintings that'll make you scratch your head. 5. Untitled by Jean-Michel Basquiat. One of American artist Jean-Michel Basquiat's untitled works features a misshapen black skull, with facial features outlined in white, no less, afloat in a blue sky beside white shapes vaguely resembling buildings. The painting looks much like a graffito that a passerby might see on a street in almost any city in the world. It even bears a tag, or graffiti artist's signature, the letters AG, in the lower left corner of the canvas. What the painting is intended to suggest is difficult to say. The image is seen through the skull's forehead, inside its mouth, and through what appears to be a window in one of the vague building-like shapes might offer clues, but they are themselves merely shapes rather than representations of objects or human subjects. As such, they are difficult to interpret, which may be the artist's intention. It seems no accident, though, that the painting resembles a graffito. Jean-Michel Basquiat, 1960 to 1988, was a New York City graffiti artist, and his painting was not executed with coils, but with spray paint. Although the skull might not be to everyone's taste, Basquiat's world-famous painting commands respect among collectors. It sold for over $110.5 million in 2017. 4. Flag, 1954-1955, by Jasper Johns. Flag is an apt title for the painting of the 48-star American flag by American abstract expressionist Jasper Johns, 1930. The work was inspired by a dream that the painter, a recently discharged soldier, had the night before he began to paint it. The work, writes Carolyn Lanchner, a curator at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, is often compared to Belgian surrealist René Magritte's Ici n'est pas une pipe. This is not a pipe. However, the relationship between John's painting and Magritte's is antithetical. Whereas the surrealist's painting points to the boundary between reality and illusion, John's painting collapses their difference. Flag sent a still memorable jolt to the art world. In 2010, over half a century after Johns created the work, Flag delivered another memorable jolt when it sold at a private sale for an estimated $100 million. 3. Masterpiece by Roy Lichtenstein. American pop artist Roy Lichtenstein's masterpiece, 1962, simulates a comic book panel showing a blonde woman alongside the dark-haired man who created the painting they are admiring. Their white complexions result from the Band-Aid dots common to the medium. The painting of the comic book panel includes a dialogue balloon indicating that the female character is speaking. Why, Brad darling, this painting is a masterpiece. Soon you'll have all of New York clamoring for your work. According to the Art Institute of Chicago, in creating his painting, Lichtenstein adapted an actual comic book panel, altering both the image and the text, and changing the setting from the interior of the automobile in which the couple drove, while having an uncomfortable conversation to an art gallery in which the woman compliments the artist. In the comic book panel, she says, "But someday this bitterness will pass." The change in the dialogue, the Art Institute of Chicago's commentary on Lichtenstein's painting notes, is a nod to Lichtenstein's sense of humor about his newfound fame in the art world. The sale price of masterpiece must have put a grin on the artist's face. Agnes Gund, president emerita of the Museum of Modern Art, sold the painting for an impressive $165 million. 2. Number 6, Violet, Green, and Red, 1951, by Mark Rothko. In 1951, American abstract painter Mark Rothko, 1903-1970, painted number 6, Violet, Green, and Red, which shows horizontal bands of violet, green, and red, or red-orange. Actually, there is much more to the painting than meets the eye. According to a gloss on the work, which sold for $184 million, it is one of 36 pieces in the Bouvier affair, an ongoing court battle between Russian tycoon Dmitry Rybolovlev and his art dealer, Yves Bouvier. More specifically, the Bouvier affair is a complex series of lawsuits, international in scope, involving allegations that Bouvier defrauded Rybolovlev out of millions of dollars by using inflated prices or false documents to manipulate prices in the sale of artworks by not only Rothko, but also by Pablo Picasso, Amedeo Modigliani, Paul Gauguin, Edgar Degas, and Leonardo da Vinci. The result, allegedly, was that the paintings were sold for much more than their actual market value. 1. Interchange, 1955, by William de Kooning. American abstract expressionist William de Kooning tops our list, his 1955 Interchange having sold for more money than any other painting purchased prior to September 2015. The seller was the David Geffen Foundation and the buyer, American hedge fund manager Kenneth G. Griffin. Today, its sale price remains second only to Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, which sold for $450.3 million in November 2017. The work of art certainly makes many scratch their heads in wonder. Sure, it's abstract, resembling a jumbled, somewhat ill-defined patchwork of colors and shapes that, more than anything, tend to confuse the viewer. It's not a stretch to suggest that the mishmash might even make a body dizzy. What, exactly, is interchange? Fortunately, Bart Barnes' article in a 1997 issue of the New York Times offers a take on de Kooning's mess. His paintings shifted between representation and abstraction, Barnes hints. Then, if we're still not quite sure what we're looking at, he comes right out and tells us the fleshy paint mass at its center represents a seated woman. With this mystery solved, we can move on to another. How much did Griffin pay for the privilege of owning interchange? Drum roll please. The painting set him back an astonishing $300 million.